Spring 1945. The Netherlands near the German border. A cold wind moves across a muddy parade ground. The air smells of damp grass and engine smoke. Canadian soldiers stand in perfect formation, boots polished, uniforms pressed, faces hard from years of war. They are waiting for a ceremony, waiting for a name, waiting for a moment that is supposed to honor bravery. A staff car arrives. Field Marshal Bernard Law Montgomery steps out. His black beret is pulled low, his posture confident and deliberate. He is the most celebrated British commander of the war, a man known as much for his ego as for his victories. Today, he has come to present a medal to a Canadian hero. The name is called Private Leo Major. From the ranks emerges a soldier who looks nothing like a parade ground ideal. He wears a black eye patch. His uniform is clean but worn thin by combat. He moves forward with a calm, dangerous confidence, not stiff or ceremonial, but controlled, like a man who has survived too much to be impressed. Montgomery reaches for the medal resting on a velvet cushion. This moment has been carefully staged. Cameras are ready. Officers watch closely. Leo Major does not stop where he is supposed to. He does not raise his hand in salute. He looks at the medal, then lifts his gaze to Montgomery's face, fixing him with his single, unblinking eye. The silence stretches. The wind snaps at the flags. No one moves. Then Leo Major speaks, quietly, clearly. He calls the field marshal incompetent. He will not accept a medal from a man responsible for the deaths of his friends. He turns his back on the most powerful officer in the British Army and walks away. To understand why a private soldier would risk his life to publicly humiliate a field marshal, you have to understand who Leo Major was and what Montgomery had done. Leo Major was never an ordinary soldier. He was a French Canadian. From Quebec, tough, stubborn, and fearless to the point of recklessness. In the Canadian Army, he earned a reputation as a lone fighter, a scout and sniper who preferred to work alone at night. After losing his left eye to a phosphorus grenade in 1944, doctors told him he would be sent home. Leo refused. He said he only needed one eye to aim a rifle and return to the front. He wore running instead of combat boots, so he could move silently. He trusted instinct over orders and action over planning. To his fellow soldiers, he became known as the one-eyed ghost. Bernard Montgomery was his opposite. Where Leo lived in the dirt and darkness of war, Montgomery lived in maps, schedules, and press briefings. He was cautious, meticulous, and deeply concerned with his own image. He saw war as a grand design, a chessboard where soldiers were pieces to be moved and sacrificed. He often treated the Canadian Army as expendable, useful for difficult tasks but undeserving of recognition. This difference became deadly in 1944. After the liberation of France, Allied leaders believed Germany was close to collapse. Montgomery promised a swift end to the war with a bold plan called Operatie. On Market Garden, paratroopers would seize key bridges in the Netherlands, and Allied forces would rush straight into Germany. The plan consumed men, fuel, aircraft, and supplies. What Montgomery ignored was logistics. The Allies had captured the vital port of Antwerp, but it was useless. German forces still controlled the Scheldt estuary, the narrow waterway that allowed ships to reach the port. Without clearing the Scheldt, the Allied supply system would choke. Montgomery dismissed the problem. He focused on his dramatic offensive and assigned the unglamorous task of clearing the Scheldt to the Canadians, giving them minimal resources. He believed the Germans there were weak. They were not. The Germans had fortified the area with tens of thousands of troops, flooding the land and turning it into a frozen swamp. Concrete bunkers lined the dikes. Artillery had clear visibility for miles. The Canadians were ordered to attack anyway, short on ammunition, air support, and equipment. What followed was a nightmare. Soldiers fought in waist-deep freezing mud. Tanks sank. Engineers could not clear mines. Men drowned, bled, and froze under constant fire. For over a month, the Canadians were slowly ground down while the world's attention focused elsewhere. By the time the battle ended, more than 6,000 Canadians were dead or wounded. Leo Major was there. He saw the bodies floating in the water. He watched friends die because support never came. In his mind, the truth became unshakable. These men were not dying because the enemy was better. They were dying because their commander did not care. During the fighting, Leo Major volunteered for a night reconnaissance mission alone. Instead of avoiding the enemy, he attacked. By dawn, he had captured a German officer and forced the surrender of an entire garrison. Armed with a submachine gun and grenades, he marched 93 German soldiers back to Canadian lines by himself. It was an extraordinary act of courage, one that earned him the Distinguished Conduct Medal. But when Leo learned that Montgomery would be the one to present it, the honor felt hollow. Back on the parade ground, the moment collapses. Montgomery stands frozen, the medal still in his hand. Officers wait for orders that never come. Arresting Leo Major would turn him into a martyr and expose the Disa. Stir of the Scheldt. Montgomery says nothing and walks away. The ceremony ends in silence. The story spreads instantly through the ranks. Soldiers cheer in private. Someone finally said what everyone believed. Leo Major continues to fight. In April 1945, he is sent to scout the German-occupied Dutch city of Zwolle. The plan is to shell the city before advancing, a move that would have killed countless civilians. Leo decides the plan is wrong. After his partner is killed, he enters the city alone. All night, he runs through the streets, firing his weapon, throwing grenades, capturing enemy patrols, and sending them back toward Canadian lines. He creates so much chaos that the German commander believes a full regiment is attacking. By morning, the Germans abandon the city. Leo Major liberated Zwolle alone, saving tens of thousands of civilians without losing a single soldier. He later receives his medal quietly from another officer and earns a second Distinguished Conduct Medal during the Korean War. Yet the medal he refused becomes the most powerful symbol of who he was. History remembers generals, strategies, and victories drawn on maps, but the cost of those decisions is paid by men on the ground. On that cold parade field in 1945, Leo Major did not reject honor. He protected it. He proved that rank can be given, but integrity cannot. Sometimes the bravest act in war is not pulling a trigger, but standing your ground and telling the truth.